Hello everyone, and that was a train indeed, and welcome to OneHub Racing. This is the best start of a stream I've ever done, by the way. Is that a train? It was a train. I have a train line going past. But we are here in good old Brazil, where I can certainly say there's not really any trains on this circuit. Unless we see Jarno Trulli today. We never know. We might see him. But welcome along to Soggyton. It's soggy. It's raining. We've got 11 drivers with us, of course, and 17 long minutes of qualifying for our pre-season race before the start of the season, obviously. Otherwise it'll be a post-season race, which technically also be PSR, technically. So, I mean, both works. But joining me this season, if you didn't know and didn't hear, because he said I like trains, and said there was that train, it's Mr. Webbo. Say hello, Webbo.
Hello, Webbo. Hello, everybody. Good to be with you, Evil. Apologies for for speaking my mind a little bit too hastily, but yes, can't wait for this one, and I'm very, very excited to see we've got some rain on track. Indeed,
soggy weather, beautiful circuit. What could possibly go wrong here in Brazil? Well, last time we were I was doing a stream in Brazil was the last season of Last Game, which was the last race ever, and I did it. And now here at Brazil again, it's like a homecoming here. And man, it wasn't raining last time we came here. Now it is raining. So since I've been locked in the attic here in Brazil in the commentary box for like a month and a half, they've only let me out of it now. So we're back, and now it's raining.
It's good for security reasons. Evil tends not to be good using the roads, and we've got our first spin. Got a Haas down at Bica de Pato.
Just about gets out of the way of the AlphaTauri and the other Haas. Yeah, whilst we're here, we got a few drivers from last season who raced here, that being, if I'm not too mistaken, we've got Cam, who, of course, won spectacularly at Monza. He was driving the Ferrari. Now he's in a Williams. He's been put down into the Williams, which is a lovely looking car. We've got Con Hoffner, who was a good old buddy I remember from the olden days, and we've got Tech, who was last in the Renault. We've got Kian, that's Kian. We've got Red Matt, we've got Rogue, who was definitely remembering from last season. We've got Cav, who is now just called Cav. Now you got told how to pronounce his name correctly, and I've pronounced it wrong, haven't I?
I believe he likes CAD. Yeah.
CAD. So I'm going to now call him
CAD
Cav.
with two Ds, so CAD. Got to be really good with the pronunciation of the double D at the end, I think.
Yes, we've got Dax down in 5th position, we've got KP in 6th, and of course we've got Vitten, and we've got Mr. Jordan, who's currently in 10th. There's all the 11 drivers we've got, and we've got someone spinning around somewhere. Where is he? Let's see, someone's gone a bit of a sideways. Well, I think it might be Dax, actually, because going on that, well, there's more yellow flags flying up. Let's get all the mini-map and everything opened up in the background. Now, my boy, we have got sponsorship, I think we'll go for it. I'm going to let you say the words. Let's put you on the spot.
Absolutely. Well, yeah, we are brought to you by 3M Sim Racing, by ERT, of course, and who supply many of our drivers with their excellent team community. We've got Next Level Racing also, who are a racing community you can access on Discord, and we're very pleased to be brought to you by those fantastic supporters.
Indeed. Seeing in the chat, by the way, Cloudy Balloons got banned from the server, which is interesting. He's been naughty. He's got banned from the server. Well, there we go. There is our sponsors done for the first time by Mr. Webbo. The only reason I couldn't read them is because I haven't got a second screen currently in my room. It's over in the corner because I took it off. I need to redo that next week. Oh, there's a car in the wall. What's happened to KP? How has he gone off there? That's the exit of the the Schumacher S. There, the Schumacher, the Senna S. Wrong track, Evil. That's. How is he? That is a weird place to spin. So he's got it on the curb, it's slightly on the outside. Now he's hit the inside wall, I'm saying, and it's flung him out wide. Meanwhile, Jordan currently fastest in Sector 1 as he comes up through towards that beautiful middle sector. This circuit of mine used to go reversewards back around this circuit. Used to go back down that road there, if I'm not mistaken, and it's very confusing, this track, the old one from before the 1980s. Of course, the modern one, first hosted a race, I believe, in 1991, as the Alpine gets a bit of a squiggle on. And, of course, the circuit, which is still the same day, apart from maybe one or two little altercations to some gravel trap. And some of the most famous races of all time took part here. We'll remember, of course, 2003. We'll remember 2016. 2008 always seems to spring to mind. I don't know why. Something happened there. I can't remember exactly what. It was some rainy day and some Brazilian won it. Didn't win too much, but yeah, maybe he should have. Nonetheless, let's not gloss over that, because Jordan goes across the line, stays 5th so far. Tech, he's currently in 4th. We've got Kian in 3rd. We've got Cam currently in 2nd position. We've got, of course, Dax in P1 with a Salty Bear, who's joined the session down in 12th position and having a little bit of a skatey ring. It's a skatey bear right now.
Yeah, he could do with some salt on the track surface. I think it's definitely greasy and difficult out there for our drivers. Just watching Rogue on his lap. He's got a car in front of him, just distracting him slightly. But Rogue is just navigating. You see him very careful throttle application, and there are a fair few curves in this track. Wow, just wiggles the car out of Young Sao. He's got Cad weaving in front of him. He's not going to thank him for that one. He'll get this banker lap in, but it's not going to be very special. Evil.
It certainly isn't. Across the line as Kian goes fastest. In fact, meanwhile, getting a nice toe off the Ferrari as they tots into turn one ever so slightly there, which is not ideal. The inter-rival between Ferrari and McLaren. Get it noted down, everyone. That's the rivalry of the season right there. Those tots, and there is a lot of debris down at the exit of turn 2 and 3 there.
Yeah.
Wondering who's that? Is someone's that gone off? Is that the Haas of Dax? Has he got front wing still? I don't think he has. Well, it's a bit difficult to see because the camera's not really working. I think he's lost his front. He has lost his front wing, so that is where the debris come from. So both the Haas's having issues already here in pre-season. We're only in 4 laps he's done, and both of them small mistakes, but that's always possible. It's slippy conditions here. We're in the intermediates. We're here in the first part of qualifying. We saw what happened in the qualifying night at Silverstone, did we not? Where we saw a multitude of cars going off, we might say, and having their own shenanigans around the circuit. It was more like trying to find what not is Silverstone than what is Silverstone. It was, and it could be driving around Austria right now. We are definitely driving at Brazil, but both the Haas's right now are, well, they've got about as much downforce as they do in real life, let's just say.
No, indeed. I'm just watching Salty Bear come through doing his first lap. Just drifting wide into the Young Sao, almost sideways into Young Sao. And then foot is just about flat, but he's going to be very careful on the way up the hill. Got to hug that inside line and avoid going onto an invalidation, and only a 1:17.8, the slowest posted time so far for Salty Bear.
Yep, Salty down there, 1:17.8. Meanwhile, riding aboard then with the other McLaren, compared to the man who's currently in 2nd, that's the man in 11th. That is of Cand, who's currently coming down towards the tricky long left-hander. Now this corner always catches drivers out. This one here, if Kimi Raikkonen catches him out, because he went off the road there once upon a time. Somewhere off there on the right, tried to get back on the left. Now remember, this circuit used to be an oval back in the olden days. If you did not know that, that's why there is a lot of banking, of course. And that's where the banking come on. The red map, meanwhile, P1 so far, 1:15.0. But the old circuit, the original one, would have gone straight here. You would have gone down that runoff area there, you can see, round up the top. And then it would have rejoined. If I remember, this area would have been going backwards. Yeah, this area's gone backwards, if I remember correctly, as you come backwards down this straight. And the circuit would have rejoined somewhere down the exit. Well, up the top of the hill up there, to be fair. And you'd have raced it back down here, which is very confusing. There's a lot of bits of this circuit.
Tri-oval setup. Yeah, yes. Very, very cool. We've got Kong Hofner on a 2nd attempt right now. I was just watching with Cam, who posted a purple middle and last sector and still didn't beat his best time. So he's clearly got a much better time in the car. I think the track is going to start to dry up, Evil, because Kong Hofner, one of our race premium drivers, is under his time at the moment, 1/10 under, which should see him up near the second, third position.
Yeah, most certainly looks like it. Looking back, you can see the circuit pretty much bone dry on the screen, actually. It doesn't look that wet. Konkofner, well, he goes second right now, puts in, what, some 42 thousandths of a second off of the man who's currently 42 thousandths of a second above him. That is the man who's currently in the pit lane. That is Speed Redmat, who has decided in the number 8 AlphaTauri to come in and presumably, I'd imagine, for a potential chuck on the slick tyres. Let's see if anyone's going to come out on those slick tyres, as meanwhile everyone gets out of the way of one of the Haas's. That's the Alfa Romeo of Tech, actually. Well, easy to mistake them. They're both white and red, and one of them's got a bit of blue, and one's currently got a bit of green, technically, on it. As you come down towards Young Kyle, then, the last corner on this circuit, well, the last one I call on this circuit, technically there's another one after this one. There's a Ferrari going slowly down to exit Senna S. But this, I won't really call this a corner, unless, of course, you're in 2003 or Grosjean a few years ago, as they were going to come in the pit lane. Not surprising right now, the circuit very much looking about as confusingly dry as a nice sunny British weathery day, actually. It looks like it's going to be wet, but I think it's actually dry. We'll find out if anyone goes on the slicks. Let's have a look.
Yeah, there's not a lot of spray coming up, is there? It's certainly interesting to see a number of drivers differing on their strategy. Some just out there putting in the laps to be on a tyre on the intermediates, perhaps when they're wearing away a little bit and the track is drying, and some drivers coming back out on a fresh set of inters. And we've got Speed Redmat, who has the provisional pole, who's decided to venture out there on softs, Evil.
Yeah, that was what I think might be the case there. Some drivers potentially going on those nice soft tyres. We've got also Jordan, he switched to the soft as well. So a few people starting to switch to that soft compound. Now, of course, we know, and we've seen previously, especially from content creators, that this game does have a little bit of a graphical issue, or seemingly. It looks like it's wet when it's not wet. His Lego's 100 meter board by his Dax takes it out. But it's very interesting. It's very difficult to gauge, especially on these change of conditions from wet to dry. So let's see if anyone does indeed gamble for it. But I think it might be round about the right time to do it.
I think the guys at the top of the grid will feel like there's little to gain by going back out on inters, and more to gain by going out on softs. But it may be that some of the guys at the back of the grid who are struggling to get a lap time in anyway might not want to go for something with even less grip. I'm not sure. As CAD goes P9, stays P9. Small improvement, but stays P9.
Yeah, right now we've only got, like you said, CAD on circuit right now. We've got one of the Williams. He's currently coming into the pit lane. I'd imagine that's Laz. Now out comes one of the Mercedes, as that might be of, well, it's either Salty Bear or Konkofner. I believe it's Konkofner, potentially. Indeed, it is. Out on the intermediate tyres then, so he thinks he's going to go out on the intermediates and do it. Redmat's chased back to the intermediates in the background, so looks like some of the drivers may be thinking a little bit of a cold feet. Maybe they don't want to try the drives right now. If I was someone like Cam or someone further down the field like Dax or Tech, now I'd say is a good opportunity. You know what? Gamble for it, because it does look dry. It looks completely bone dry out here, but what do we know? It might be wet. That's all we can say, but let's see if anyone comes out on that dry compound. Out comes Rogue. He's on the intermediate. Out on the intermediate comes Salty Bear. So quite a few people coming out on the inter, still 3 minutes to go. It's just really difficult to tell right now.
It is. You're absolutely right. My feeling right now is that softs might be well worth a try. There's no rain falling. There's the evidence of tyre markings on the track, so it's not completely covered by water. Just to mention, we've got a couple of people in the chat, one of which you know well. Jess is here, wishing good luck to everybody.
Indeed, everyone's favourite Jess in the chat right now. Let's see. Oh, we got someone on the dries. Look, we got the first dry run, and guess who it is? It's Mr. Cam. He's on the dries. Who would have thought? Cam, the opportunistic man he is. He's like a wily old fox, he is. The opportunistic man. he will go for it. And there we go. DRS enabled now. The floodgates, most certainly now, should open. Everyone will be coming in, or if not going out right now on ASSETTO tries. Out comes Jordan. Out comes Tech. We've got Dax now also on track. I imagine he'll be straight in the pit lane. Now is the opportune time to do it. And now if I was Cam, just kind of have a little cruise lap. Just get your lap in. Just get the tyres warmed up. And then go for a second one if you can. Because you might get yourself caught out with especially with the track acclimatization right now. It's going to be green. It's going to be slippy. Yep. And remember, that last man across the line should, in theory, have the best circuit. In theory.
Yeah, absolutely. It's not super high degradation here. But of course, if you're having traction moments or going sideways at all, you're going to be destroying the freshness of those tyres, even as you wait around to try and start your first lap. Rogue isn't going he's not doing anything particularly special in the Ferrari. I say that, and he's gone purple in the middle sector.
Yeah.
Little wiggle on the way out of Youngsao. Youngsao does appear to be really difficult for our drivers to get out of the turn and up the hill, and that's even off the curb. So Rogue for the line then. Big improvement.
For 7th.
P8 for him.
Yeah, Cam, meanwhile, he was up in Sector 1. Not surprising, he is, of course, on a different tyre to everyone else, to be fair. Konkofner, red mat out on circuit. We've got a car, that's a Mercedes in the background going around. Let's see. Should be up, I imagine, by quite a margin, about 2 seconds, I'd imagine. Indeed, it is 2 seconds up to be the 1,000th per second. The exit now 3 on count. This is the difficult area of the circuit. And let's see, gets it through there. Now, this easily... And I'm going to say easily, unless something catastrophic goes on right now, should be pole position temporarily. It is a 1 minute 12.5, and Cam can take a screenshot of that because he's the quickest man by quite a while now. As now we've
exactly what I was about to say, yeah.
On circuit, we've got Tech currently on circuit right now. He's coming through the last corner. Can he spoil Cam's current 2-3 second advantage? Here comes Tech across the line, and he goes even quicker at 1 minute 11.4, 1 second quicker than Cam. Across the line, Jordan, 1 minute 10.9. That's now 6 tenths quicker than anyone else. What about Kian then? He's coming through the last couple of corners. Can he go even faster? That's the question. Well, here we are then. To the line, looked like a purple sector 1, maybe a purple sector 2. To the line, is he going to be purple sector 3? It is not by a couple of thousandths of a second. Goes second right now. We've got Salty Bear going round at the back of the circuit. We've got Vito coming on a lap right now. We've got Fax on a Labs, and we've got Red Matt starting his lap respectively right now.
Yeah, Vitinho quite nicely through the first 3 corners, and just judging the grip as he throws the car into Decididor Lago, and be picking out his turning point for Ferradora and La Reina very shortly. Missing the apex slightly there, a little bit of lens flare at least on my screen, just to give you that extra little bit of distraction. Tech goes quicker still, you can see.
I tell you what, looks like everyone's on a second lap right now, to be fair to them. Loads of people finding massive amount of time on this second lap. And look at Kian right now, he's up by 1.5 seconds as well. This could be a good lap time for the McLaren driver. Let's see, crosses the line. Can he go fastest? He can go fastest. Solly Bear crosses the line. I don't think he's going much, but he's lost his front wing, so definitely not having the most sunshine in Danny Day right now. What about, meanwhile, Vinto crosses the line. Where does he go? Goes P3. What about his teammate then? Red Matt, 5 seconds quicker than anyone else right now. Should be fastest. 1 minute 8.5. That's almost a second clear of anyone else right now. Cam, again, on another lap it looks like. Can he even go quicker? Cam cross the line. He goes second on the grid then. So Cam, on a 3rd flying lap, goes second fastest. But Red Matt on pole position then here in Brazil by I think about 1/10 of a second. Indeed, 1.5 tenths of a second. Then Red Matt, the Englishman from the American. Kian then in 3rd, Tech in 4th, then Vinto in 5th, Jordan in 6th, Hoffner in 2nd, Dax in 8th, Rogue ahead of Cad. Mr. Salty Bear is in 11th, and we've got Kipper in 12th position in the other. Haas did not set a lap time, but what we can say from that, circuit definitely improved on the last lap then.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, that was thrilling just to watch the cars just tick by and go ever faster. Brilliant stuff from, well, at least half of our drivers anyway. I'm surprised that the others didn't go out there for at least a rhythm setting attempt on the dry tyres. But maybe they know something we don't.
Yeah, most certainly. Let's just go and see what the weather for the race is by asking our chat telemetry, and someone will be the Ted for us and let me know what the weather is going to do for the race. I think it might be dry, but it's definitely dry to start with. And if I'm not mistaken here, I think Cam's put the wrong time on. It looks a little bit early here, doesn't it?
It's either early or it's very late. Those shadows are very long, yes, indeed.
Yes, I think Cam might have pressed the wrong button there, but we'll let him. It's his first time. We'll cuddle him if he's made a mistake, but it does look a little bit early. But not to worry. Could you know? At least it's not night time. Well, it's only Monaco. If we can't do that in Monaco, however, I would actually love him because Monaco at night time is brilliant. But
it does look good. It does look good. Yeah,
always the best. As there's a moth in my room. Get him off. Get them off. There we go. But yeah, slight conditions that might be slightly different from what it's meant to be. But we shall be getting a nice race underway in just a few moments' time, and hopefully our formation lap as well, which will be starting right about now. As there we are, the grid confirmed then. So every single driver on the order is going to be on the dry compounds, and we are expecting a full dry race. Yeah, there we go, full dry race then for all our drivers. I'd imagine it would be, because, well, that's what's been done. It's going to be a full dry race. If it only rains in the middle of it, then there you go.
Yeah, I don't know whether we have accurate or real life weather prediction setting on the game. But interesting split of strategy with Rogue going out there, starting on hards. We've got 4 medium runners and everybody else, including the top 6, all on softs.
Yeah, most certainly indeed. I'd imagine nothing less from the top 6 because they were all starting on those tyres. So I'd imagine they probably would have kept on then. Han Hoffner, he's gone for that medium tyre, of course, as you mentioned, the mediums as well. Hards for the Ferrari. Now, from what I remember, the hards should be able to go around about 28 to 32 laps, ideally, on this. The medium should last around about 20, and I'd imagine the soft tyres especially from last season, about 10 to 12 laps is round about what we could expect. Now, that's last season, and knowing me, now everyone's going to be putting on that 8 or 7. But let's hope that doesn't happen. It will be interesting, though. Everyone punches up the hill, of course, and whilst we do talk about punches, we do hope everyone in the Formula W is okay after that spectacular crash we saw at Spa earlier on as well. So hopefully everyone okay up there. I believe 2 people were taken to hospital for further checks, but everyone else seems to be in relative good nick, which is always good to hear. But
worthwhile just mentioning to the stream evil that there are mandatory 2 stoppers, so it may be that hard tyre might not be brilliant for Rogue if he has to stop twice.
Yeah, most certainly indeed, 2 stops as well, but here we are then, 5 red lights, and lights out, and most certainly away we go then here for pre-season. Good start from Red Mat there. Looked like a bit of a slower start for from Cam on the inside there, around the outside, both it's one of the Alpha Tauris nearly there, around the outside of Kian there. It looks like everyone behind slotting themselves through then. But look at the start right now as a little sliver themselves down one way to the other. Red Mat leads them from Cam, then from Kian, then Vinto. Tech and Konkofner in 6th position there on the outside. Looks like everyone fine through there. Side by side nearly on the exit. That is KP and Salty Bear. Dropping down 3 positions is Jordan up 1, 2 and 3, 6, 7 and 8 right now. They're currently up all 1 off their starts as well. But Red Mat looks like he's got the bit between his teeth at the start of this race as all kinds of cars start getting bunched up in the midfield.
Big moment for CAD at the back of the grid as we just watched Salty Bear spin round in Biga di Pato. He just, back down to the bottom of the field. KP had a lot of trouble getting by Salty Bear and Stoltenberg himself was compromised by a wide moment from CAD. So the drivers at the back really feeling their way into the grip at the moment, Evil.
Yeah, most certainly indeed. Well, let's see what we can do then. Meanwhile, through lap number 2, and it's good to see, by the way, if you notice. Now, I was about to say that the game doesn't reverse the order and mess it up, but Cam's leading now from red map, which is definitely leading, so never mind. But, well, there we go, it's working again. Cam's now in second again. Thank the game. See, game, it works. It likes me when I do that. Kian in third, Cam and Kian, and there's lots of K's and Cads and Kapup. Yeah, I'm gonna get...
just got by Rogue for 8th place. A little bit of nice side-by-side cooperation between the drivers. They know it's a 36-lap race, Evil.
Yeah, they might know it's a 36 race. Do I know?
Rogue, I think, struggling on the hard tyres initially against the soft runners around him.
Indeed, right, that's the interesting thing. Well, talking of Rogue, as you mentioned he was struggling, well, now look what you've done. He's got a 3-second time penalty. And then now, oh, that was a sideways there from KP. He almost lost that. When is he going to come straight back? Is CAD on the back of Apex Road? Rogue just seems to be dropping backwards right now, and I sense this might be another one. Gives a little bit of a squeezely inside and say, don't try it, and well... CAD, fair play to him, he tried it, but realised last moment that trying that might have ended badly. Get DRS on the exit, straight out the inside though, doesn't even need the DRS right now, because now he's all alongside, and now he's ahead. Even though the car alongside him has the DRS as well, though it's not over yet, give him a bit of squeeze out on the exit. And now he's through then. Rogue down into 10th position. Meanwhile, up front, leading by a whopping 1 minute and 7 seconds now, is Speed Redman. There we go. 1 minute, minus 1 minute ahead of
minus a
Cam.
minute, yeah.
Incredible there is. Oh dear, what's happened to Rogue? He's gone off. And that is... that's an interesting place. That is... I can't remember the corner name top of my head, but it's near where Lewis Hamilton went off in 2017. I'm not very good with Brazilian. It's turn 8. I'll say that much. Red Matt still leading from Cam by that whopping 1 minute right now then. From Kian in third. Tech currently still in fourth position. Gablo is closing up between second and third. And we've got Salty Bear now off as well. Not a lot of grip out there, it seems.
No, they're really struggling. Maybe it's the early morning. Sunlight hasn't warmed up the track surface yet. Maybe the driver's just readjusting, Evil, after being out there on Inters for so long through qualifying. Very, very different track surface. About 40 seconds later, it must be quite difficult to get back into that rhythm.
Yeah, most certainly indeed. But it's just going to be interesting to see, and of course it is that driver who can adapt to changeable conditions, which we often see truly coming out the benefit. I tell you what, right now, if the season is like it is, I think Redman might end up getting moved up at this pace. He's opening. He's got a small gap right now, but it's definitely an opening gap from Cam. But of course, to be fair, we are missing 8 more drivers than we normally would, because 8 of them dropped out, and Salty Bear is well, at this rate, he might get some salt in the wound if he keeps making mistakes, but we'll keep going. He's going tough and water, remember, of course, does exist, and well, he's going for... I mean, he isn't wearing a helmet, actually. I've just realised he's just wearing the Battle
that's really going to cost him, isn't it?
Now, I'm afraid we're going to have to give him a disqualification there.
I mean, credit to be paying homage to Mark Webber's retirement, but it may not be the best idea in the throes of a competitive race.
No, most certainly not. I mean, what? I was about to say, wondering why I couldn't see his helmet, because I can see the top of Konghoffer's helmet, the same camera angle. There's why. Meanwhile, the battle for 7th, 8th and 9th starting to heat up. There is the Alpine closing up there on the half, with the McLaren right behind him as well. Let's see then. I'd imagine probably it's going to be down either into turn 1, if he's got close enough, and especially if Konkovna can pull out where 3/10 away from Drax, he won't have the DRS. Might not matter too much, because he's a bit close behind right now with the help of ERS, using all of it, of course. Remember, no Ritz mix on this game, so it's all about slipstream power. Now, let's see. Drax has to go to the inside line. He knows right now that he's still safe, unless we're going to see a send up the inside. It'll be very brave stuff from this far back. Indeed, he decides not to set himself up low for the exit and now use all that power, as long as he can get too much of a squiggle like that. And still, no cigar right now for him.
No, Dak's doing everything he needs to do, not compromising his own speed too much. He's not falling back from Kong Hoffner, our only race premium driver in the field tonight. But he's just positioning his car very well, I think, using the middle of the track when he needs to, but not overcommitting. Very, very smart driving.
Yeah, most certainly it is. Meanwhile, we've kind of got that little bit of trend right now down to 5th down to pretty much, 9th position. We've also got a little bit of a battle starting to form between Cam, Kian and Tech. So the 2Ks and the T going at it as well. So a few cars closing up, a few little battles going on right now. Further down the field, of course, we saw Apex Rogue in the pit lane earlier on for his first stop. I believe that would have been for damage he received earlier on. Meanwhile, still looking backward. Now no DRS member for Con Kovner. He's lost that bubble ever so slightly. So now behind him is like a wild attacking bulldog behind him now, as everyone's going to try and get a piece of the cherry. And now he gets DRS back of Vito as well. So closing up and swapping around is meanwhile Kian again having a little look on the inside of Camp. Still can't quite do it. There we got yellows for Salty Bear going off there, and he's been reset right back onto the racing line, as luckily he's ghosted right there as Rogue goes straight through him like a nice old road rave.
Yeah, I learn something new every time I commentate with you, Evil. I didn't know that bulldogs were particularly fond of cherries and biting them off. So that's definitely a metaphor I hadn't heard before. But yeah, if we did such a thing as fan boost, then I think Rogue would be doing well. His fan club have started to join the chat and cheer him on. Sorry to cut you off.
There we go. Battle for second. The outside line. Let's see as he got him down towards turn 1. Are we going to see late braking from Cam? Well, no. No is the definite answer. We're not going to see late braking from Cam. That was early braking from Cam. That was very early brake. Cam, you need brake later. Let's see DRS. Can you come back at Kian? I'll tell you what, let's see. Kian is 1.4 seconds off the lead right now, and let's see if we can go after him and go have a little chase down. But let's see if Cam can retaliate in the blue Ferrari now, as he was in the Ferrari. Now he's in the Williams. And as much as I want to say I like the livery, it's still the rear annoys me. But the front doesn't annoy me. And that's the thing that I like. Looking straight on, it looks good. From the side, slightly good. The back side.
It is a gloss finish, so I know you're
yes.
Probably more keen on it being shiny, aren't you?
Yes, but meanwhile, I like the Alfa Romeo because you know what? It's shiny and it looks good.
Definitely, yeah. Definitely.
Load DRS back again. Let's see, is Cam going to come back at Kian there? Let's see. And the 2K swipping around one way and the other. Let's see DRS active. Is he going to have a little lunge up the inside? Well, Kian has to cover the inside line right now. Cam's going to play the long game right now. Just sit there. Just get the DRS. If he wants it now, blast it down. Now he'll definitely take it there. Big mistake there on the outside. Now to the inside. Here comes Cam. Alongside him he goes. Now back should easily be ahead, of course, with the DRS. We've got a Salty Bear going off yet again. And he's having a torrid time right now, might we say, but you'll get onto it. Long race. We're only on lap 9 of 36, means we've got what? Some numbers to go.
We definitely have some numbers to go. I'm really liking that inside line through Curva do Sol that several of the drivers are taking. They seem to be able to get a great deal more grip. If they can maximise the angle through the second part of the center S, they can really tuck under the car ahead through Curva do Sol and almost be ahead before the DRS.
Indeed, we're currently 20% into this race, by the way. Fun fact right there. We're coming on to now what is probably like 22% of the race, because it goes up very interestingly. Because lap 9, of course, being one of the decimals of 36.
Pit stops.
Well, yes, pit stops. Kian and Kike is in the pit lane, so it was the Triple K nearly right there for a brief second. But meanwhile, Salty Bear drive-through penalty. Or was that a stop? Time penalty. It's a time penalty there, right there. As Tech in the pit lane, Vito in the pit lane. Kian gets out ahead of Tech. And in the background there, coming out the pit lane, Vito as well. Now, let's see who else we're going to see in the pit lane. Salty Bear, again, going for a little bit of a spin around this circuit. Really difficult there. I'll tell you what, the Haas looked a little bit squiggly on the exit of the corner as well. So Dax looking ever so slightly flustered. He closes up on the back of Konkofner. And of course he's driving with that lovely kind of golden shiny helmet right there. It looks like a bit of gold. I think it's gold. Does it look gold to you?
Let me see. Is it Dax you're
yes.
meaning? Yes, there is certainly a flash of gold, I think. Yeah, you're right.
A little bit of shiny gold. Kind of like with Schumacher's helmet from 2011 when he was racing at Spa, which was 10 years ago. Remember, a fun fact, it was 30 years ago today he started in F1. Meanwhile, we're talking about things as there is Salty Bear going off again down at turn number 1. He is having some struggles meanwhile. Talking of people who are not struggling, his teammate currently in first, Konkofner. The man who, of course, remember, had a spectacular season last time out. He's battling away with Dax to the outside. And then CB Brave to holding around the outside there. Koffner can all just squeeze him wide. Red Mac comes out the pit lane. He is in the lead of this race. Who is second, though, is the question.
Look at Kian with the undercut. Amazing to get... He's battling for first position from third with the power of that one lap undercut. And he's got warm tyres, and now we've got a train with Tech Kian behind. Actually, it's Cam, isn't it?
Yeah, Cam's second.
They gained so much time under the pit stop.
Yeah, that undercut seemed to be productive. Cam, low, lucky to him. Meanwhile, in terms of penalties, by the way, I've just noticed it. Red Matt, a 5-second time penalty there. Now that will be served at his next stop, if I'm not too mistaken, because of course he has to stop again. So another stop, and like I said earlier on, by the way, right about lap 10 for drive, lap 10 to 12 for Treble on the softs coming in. Well, I am correct for that one. Is also, well, I suppose lap 11 to softs there, and that's one. As you can see behind, Cam is just bolted away like a, like a rabbit out of a cage right there. He's gone. He's absolutely disappeared temporarily down that straight. Put the gap up to 4/10 of a second. Now it's all about, can Mr. K close back up to Mr. Cam?
Interestingly as well, Jordan down in 11th place has taken his second pit stop and gone on to hards. He actually could now go to the end quite comfortably on the tyre deck and be within a shout if there are any stoppages.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, there's always a possibility. Remember, we've seen it before with drivers doing this strategy. It has worked once or twice occasionally, so let's see if Mr. Old Jordan can pull off a little bit of a strategic masterclass. He might need help of a safety car later on if he needs to close up, because he is, he's about
46, 7, 8 seconds away from the leader right now.
Off the lead, so he's going to have to hope for a safety car at some point. While talking of the leader, he's currently in the pit lane. I'd imagine second's going to be overtaken soon by Redman, who's, overtaking him. There we go, and into second position goes, I suppose actually into first goes Redman right now as he comes to lap. That is Bear, currently down in 12th, I believe that is. Yeah, that's Bear, who is carrying on his merry way, and we're going to see people carrying on his merry way around this difficult circuit. Meanwhile, Cam just slightly weaving. I didn't need to weave there. I tell you what, though, he's given the inside of 4 for a second for Tech to have a look at the inside of Kian. A little bit wishful thinking, might be a little bit too far back there, but yellow
Tech
flags.
Is getting amazing runs down the Retroposta, the second straight. He's really hooked up. And we've got, is that Salty Bear turning around again in Essay?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, the poor bear he's maybe give him some honey. You know, bears, honey, you know, Winnie the Pooh. I like Winnie the Pooh. Winnie the Pooh's nice. Salt and honey also apparently works quite well together. I mean, I've never tried. I don't want to try it because that's like taking sweet and, well, something that's not sweet, and you can imagine how that would go. Meanwhile, enough talking about ice creams and stuff. As into the pit lane comes KP. As we go back to action right now, currently 3.7 seconds. The race lead is. That is Redman, by the way. He is absolutely flying out here. Currently in Brazil. Cam in second. Kian still in third. Still just slightly moving to get rid of that DRS there as Bear has retired into the pit. That's a real shame to see. Then we got, is that Cav's gone off somewhere? It is Cav's gone off. That's on the exit of turn 1, and he spinning again, and he can get the car back going. right hand down. Be careful, don't get disqualified, my dear Bonnet. And there we go, get it back going there. Hey, there we go, back on the power up, and away we go. Those tyres, like, might need to come in to get some new tyres right there for Mr. Cav. Bit of a spin right there, where it's a
forced change of strategy. Yeah,
yeah.
It's definitely a feature of this game, as well as the baby oil curbs, as I've heard it put, is the difficulty of getting the tyres cooled back down again after you've spun and trying to get going at racing speed. Very, very difficult indeed.
Well, I'll tell you what this has put on the back of him. That has also put out the Ferrari then of Apex Rogue right onto the back of him. Rogue actually having a look through the inside lens. So Rogue, well, I said earlier on, did I not? McLaren-Ferrari battles. Here we are, McLaren-Ferrari battles. They most certainly did, Tots, I think, there. As couldn't quite get it through. Now with DRS, let's see if Cavi dives straight into the pit lane, then go for a set of hard tyres to the end, or is he going to carry on and fight this one through? Let's see, otherwise he'll have to cover the inside. Well, he hasn't covered it enough. He's given the door. I think he's just given that place then straight away. I don't think he's going to battle that one too heavily. I think he knows his tyres are a little bit warm, but he has an opportunity to come straight back at him with the DRS. And let's see then, this is the crucial power up with the ERS, with all the slipstream to the outside line. And let's see, late braking. McLaren on the outside, Ferrari on the inside, they bang again. McLaren forced out wide right there, and maybe a little bit of damage like that with a little bit of argy-bargy. But that is racing, and these two have a given no quarters.
No, I think no harm, no foul is usually the tenet I go by in these situations. As long as the game doesn't penalise people, I think we have enough of those flying around. I do quite like watching drivers race hard and treat each other as they wish to be treated. As we see the battle for second shows no sign of letting up, Evil.
Yeah, second still going at it. This is turning into a little bit of a train right now. I mentioned earlier of trains. Well, Cam's got, well, he's got two coaches on the back of him. He's got Andy and he's got Clarabelle, I suppose. He can be Thomas if he wants to. His car is blue, to be fair, and he has got an orange one behind him.
Yeah.
So technically, I could get away with that if Cad was also there. I could technically use that analogy, but last it's white. Oh, a bit of a twitch there for Cad. I tell you what, though, Speed Red Man, we've got to say this, by the way. Number 8, leading this way, he has put so far, and I'm going to say so far with a pin salt, because I know what I'm like when I'm about to say this. Thought this job hasn't made a single mistake so far this race. And now, what's the next time we cut to him punting backwards in the wall?
Yeah, I'm sure he'll thank you for that and make note of that in the stream. The moment that that Evil was particularly generous to one of the drivers with their faultless driving. I'm fascinated by watching these three cars battle for second and still not really lose any time to Red Matt. Now, you'd be tempted to think that Red Matt was actually managing the gap, but it's pointless for him because he needs that 5 seconds.
Yeah. So, realistically, I said he hasn't put a foot wrong. The only thing he's put wrong is getting a 5-second penalty. Now, I don't know how he's got that. I'm sure if you want to have a little hop into the race director, you can probably have a look and see what he's got. I think it might be speeding in the pit lane, potentially. As oh, we got a car off. Is that Cad? Oh, it's Cad. He is gone off, and he's rejoining. He's okay, though, I think. Yellow flags flying high. I thought for a second that was red mode went off, and I would have been really sad. But Cad, who's Cav, he's gone off. So he's currently on that set of super soft tyres, and let's see. So far, Cam still in second, third, and fourth, still just stuck behind him. And to be fair to Cam, he's also not really dropping any time to the cars behind him, not dropping anything to the car. In fact, he's closing to the car ahead ever so slightly, and it's very interesting to note as well as Cam. It looks like he might have a slightly more of a higher downforce setup in the mid sectors, because he definitely gets closed up, of course, with the DRS and the slipstream, but he opens up that gap a little bit through this middle sector. Well,
I've done my research, Evil, and found that it was not actually a speeding in the pit lane penalty for Speed Red Matt. It was the lap before his pit penalty. I wonder whether he ended up touching a car that was recovering at the tail of the field, possibly Salty Bear or Cad. and ended up with contact, because it's the only explanation I can really come up with why you'd get a 5-second penalty when you weren't coming into the pits and you were leading the race.
That's very odd indeed. So, well, the mystery continues. Everyone in the chat, how did Red Mac get his penalty? Did he upset the racing gods? Has he done something he shouldn't have done? What's he done? Let's find out. Has he popped a balloon around the circuit and upset a child? We'll never know, unless we hear a child starting screaming in the background. But we'll find out, of course, in due course. But let's see. Currently, I'll tell you what, Konkoffner is closing up a little bit right now. That gap 2.1 seconds to Tech and Kian and Cam. That gap is indeed, well, it's pretty much 2 seconds to all of them, actually, because they're all, like, pretty much on side each other anyway. Dax also kind of closing up as well, so the battle not really over right now. Remember, these 4 drivers will all stop and go on a set of imagine a set of soft tyres again to the end of this race if they can get, let's say, to around about lap 24 on these tyres. It will be another set of soft. Well, it'll be a set of softs. If they can't, it'll be a set of mediums straight to the end. And I'm wondering if anyone's going to come and do an undercut. That's the interesting thing. And there is absolutely a reason. There's an opportunity for any of these drivers who start behind Cam right now to try it. You know what? Throw caution at the wind. You might get something from it. Because right now, it just looks like they can't get through, as Apex Rogue has now gone for a spin as well, as he gets passed by Jordan.
Speaking of building speed, as he has done through the race, Konkoffner still has the fastest lap as well.
And also a penalty, to be fair.
And a penalty, yeah. So does CAD at the same time. Triggered the ire of our stewards.
Well, he's running a little bit wide, of course, and you can't make that up when you say he's still got the fast lap, and then he gets a penalty immediately there. Just like it was written. But nonetheless, we've got, what, 1, 2, 3, 4 drivers with penalties so far, of the possible of 11 currently in this race, with one of them not currently in this race. He's not in the session, of course, right now. I tell you what as well, Cam opening that gap ever so slightly more. It just looks like he's starting to get the bit between his teeth. He has got the same ERS as Kian. You can see how much Kian just, well, Clan, or I'll call him Clan. I think that's the apprentice's name. Clan or Anne. Let's call him Anne. There we go. Anne, currently in 3rd position, as meanwhile in the pits there's Konkoffner for a set of medium tyres. So that now, what 16, 15 laps to go to the end of this race. Medium tyres, that's around, that is easily doable.
Optimum, yeah. I'd say that's about optimum for him.
That's not optimal for him, though. That's, oh dear. And the safety car deployed. Well, that's not optimal. He's dropped it in the pit lane. Oh dear.
Crazy. Jordan comes in the pits immediately, bails off those hard tyres, which would have got him to the end, but of course will be useless for him straight after a safety car. But was that a pit exit?
He dropped in the pit exit. Yeah, dropped it in the pit exit straight away. Oh no. Poor Konkoffner. He was doing so well. And into the pit lane. Pretty much, surely everyone's going to come in now for a set of medium tyres.
Yeah, everybody following Matt in. We've got Tech, Kian, Cam, Dax. I think Bettino's on his way. I think
Cam should lead this race out of this. I think he should. Because if I'm not mistaken, the 5 seconds will be served. And he's going for a set of super softs. Let's see, actually, is anyone else going to go for it? Well, they're all going to go for the super soft, apart from Cam, who's gone on the mediums. So, Cam, who leads the way then, now on the mediums from Tech on the softs, as well as Rainmount on the softs. Now, I've seen this tactic like this before. Now, he is hoping and praying this safety car comes in very early. Well, I mean, they've all passed the safety car. Well, what's happened here? Cam? Oh no, that's the wrong car. That's George. Wait, no, never mind. Who was I looking at? That's Cad.
Cam went past, braked very heavily. I think he was tempted to put it in reverse, but he did actually manage to avoid triggering anything on his Delta, but yeah, did initially go to drive completely past the safety car.
No, yeah, late call from the safety car then, and that was lucky. I thought for a second he was driving straight past him. Then that'd have been interesting, but he decided not to. He's could have been a bit. That could have. The stewards might not have deemed a very bright view on that one if he passed safety car like that. But all things end well. Now Cam here, he's got what, some 14 laps to go. He is hoping the safety car comes in now, because behind him, these drivers, if they can get, what, 12 laps, they should be able to do it. 11, 10 laps, that is doable on those super softs. Well, the Red Bull soft tyres, I suppose we might as well just call them, because there isn't really super softs, but I would always call them super softs, because the Red Bulls always, to me, were the super soft tyres. It was pink, it was the hyper softs, or purple, or whatever it was, and it was blue, it was terrible. The blue-walled super hards. Ugh. As in comes Kian in the pit lane. Now, is that for damage, or is that he only done one stop? Well, that's his second
no apparent
stop.
Wing change, yeah.
So yeah, it was his second. No, it was his first stop. So he just wanted to set a super softs then. So very interesting indeed. So some drivers opting for a third stop. Indeed, Jordan on that third stop, he's gone for a set of mediums. So we've got a lot of drivers on very alternate strategy here, and I think Cam right now is, like I said earlier, he's just hoping everyone's tyres goes off right now, because otherwise this might be a little bit of a demolition job right now behind him, because he's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of them all on soft tyres, all going, well, I see a man on mediums. You know what? I fancy a free position. Jordan also, he's going to be looking back and seeing Kian. He's also got Rogan Cav, who's currently in the middle of Sector 1, just coming to Sector 2 right now, and everyone else is currently in the middle Sector 2, so he should get to the back of the grid, unless the safety car comes in, like, now, which I think it should stay out one more lap, if I'm not mistaken.
I think often it is the gap between the amount of drivers on track. I know it's connected to the amount of debris on track sometimes, but also the length of the crocodile's tail can be something that the game mechanics take into account. And so I don't think Cam will be thanking CAD for being quite so far back, because in my estimation at least, that would have been a contributing factor to a third safety car lap.
Yeah, indeed, it most certainly could be. Of course, we'll never know exactly the pure reason. It might just be the safety car wanted to stay out for 3 laps. I mean, it does that sometimes. It normally does, but nonetheless, Tech in second, Spreadman still in third, and has now got rid of that 5-second stop-go penalty, I suppose, in essence.
Rogue has just lost it, weaving the car on Reta Raposta, lost the car, taken at least one corner off it just as CAD came to catch him behind. We now have Kian and CAD in the matching McLarens at the back of the grid, and we have 9 runners.
Yeah, well, we have Rogue still in the race, to be fair, but he has lost to the nose.
There were lots of pieces coming off it, yeah.
There was lots of pieces coming off it, but the wheels weren't one of them yet. So he's carried on in that very kind of reminds me of Kimi Raikkonen's helmet of 2007-ish. Just gives me vibes of that. I love that helmet. And yeah, one noseless Ferrari going around the circuit. I wonder, is that gonna prolong the safety car?
Well, I dare say the debris will not help. But of course the marshals will be able to get out there and pick up the debris. Safety car will be on its way in.
Yep, so the safety car in on this lap, and oh, Mr. Rogue, I think the Ferrari mechanics are going to be absolutely furious. Oh dear. That is not what you want to be doing there, sunshine. But Cam, he'll be leading the way through. He's just going to hold them all up, all the way down the straight. And he'll get going in just a few moments' time. When he decides to, he can go whenever he wants, and he's decided to go right about now. Then off he goes down towards turn 1. I tell you what, Tech under pressure immediately. Oh, Cam, laggy Cam. He's fine, don't worry. It's just a bit of lag there from Cam. I tell you what, Redman getting his muscles out. He's getting pushed a little bit wider. Here comes Dax. Now at the inside, oh, he's touching down the straight, as they just want to squeeze each other just enough room there. And then see can Redmat go back around the outside, still side by side down the exit. And now back through. There's Daxland up into 3rd position. Good move there from the Haas driver at the inside. Whoa. And he's done him. He's absolutely done him there to the inside. Fantastic moves there. And now the other AlphaTauri says, thank you very much, Sonny Jim. I'll have a piece of that one on the exit. And now up the inside goes the other AlphaTauri. But the Haas says, no, I'm not getting taken by 2 AlphaTauris in the space of a few hundred seconds. And comes back through. I tell you what, the other Haas might have a little look at the other AlphaTauri. It's AlphaTauri and Haas. Good old friendly moments down the back there in 2nd and 3rd. And now, here we are then. Tech 31 has an opportunity to lead this race, and Cam knows it. He'll have to just plant that car in the middle. Open up the steering, just force in there. But no, he's not, because there's contact, and Cam forced off the road. Tecla absolutely phenomenally placing the car. Cam couldn't do anything. He should have shut the door early. He did not. And now Red Matlen challenging and closing onto the back of Tech. But Cam probably now ruining that set of medium tyres. We've now got some 11 laps to go. Behind him, Dax in 4th, Vito in 5th, Kian in 6th, ahead of KP, Jordan, Cav and Rogue, of course, right down the back.
Yeah, for me, lap 25, that was my overtake of the evening, and definitely something to nominate for an overtake of the week award from the AlphaTauri of speed Red Mat there. Fantastic move. I don't know if touching would disqualify him, but here he comes down this start-finish straight, Evil.
Yeah, Tech just holding the middle line, of course. That won't be a disqualification either from Tech for colliding with Cam. It was good moves there. I mean, well, talking of good moves there, the Haas and the AlphaTauri going at it as well. And meanwhile, up front, let's have a little look. They're still not battling at it right now. Here comes the Haas up the inside of the AlphaTauri. And there's going to be contact, surely. They just about avoid it there. And look at the McLaren trying to come through around the outside. And just about squeezing as the inside won't do it there. He might get the inside here into the next corner though. If he's brave, bit of contact again, and they just a little bit of love tapping here, just tasting each other's rears ever so slightly, just going, this rubber tastes a little bit nice. You want to have a bit from my front wing? How's the bit of carbon fibre taste? I want your rubber, you want my carbon. Make that as you will, actually. Nonetheless, Tech still leads this race. DRS now active though. Here now, surely comes Red Mat, and now this theoretically should be the leader of the race.
Yeah, he's saved a little bit of deployment. He's gone to the outside. Tech has left the door open on the inside though. Wow! Late move from
my
God. Both of them! Both of them! And right to the back of the grid. I don't think anyone would have seen that one coming.
Can you believe it? Tecla and Red Mat come together, and Red Mat, he looks fuming. He looks fuming, weaving. What have you done, he says. You've taken us both out of the running for 1st and 2nd position. And, well, by howdy does that make now Vito leads. Well, it's both one AlphaTauri to the other one. And tell you what, in this sort of form, Cam still is in the running here. He's back in 2nd, I suppose. But, yeah. Well, I mean...
hanging in there. He's hanging in there with these mediums. And the longer he can hang in, the better his chances of winning this race.
But yes, I mean, Tecla, I mean, it was a bit of contact. It was the ever so slightest contact there where I was riding on the outboard Cam. It just looked like they gravitated into each other, looked like a bit of a sidepod glitch. And well, here we go then, Red Mat. This time he's going to go for a move. He's going to go to the outside.
He's got a penalty.
He got
just
himself
going too
a penalty.
far on the outside.
And this time he's going to just say, I'm just going to take the outside line and do it, but up the inside there, and don't hit each other again, boys, will you not? Oh, they have! Oh my! Oh, he's off! And there go Tech, they've collided there again, and well, is that little bit of, well, you've done that, well, I'm going to go and come through either way. I mean, what, a road fastest, but... Tech
I think driver's justice again is what they call that in IndyCar, isn't it?
Yes.
That felt a little bit, like
close.
retribution to me.
Of course, they won't do retribution there, but they've certainly collided. And, Well, the rivalry started between Tech and Red Matt there. We can get that noted down.
Absolutely.
For certain, meanwhile, I tell you what, Cam's not really too far off the back of Vito right now, isn't he? What? A couple of attempts, 6 attempts.
No, I think the best of those soft tyres has gone, and we're into their midlife phase, where things will be quite equal for Cam, and it's only going to get better for him from here on out. Using the DRS is going to really help him stay with the leader, and he closes very, very closely up behind on the way into the first turn.
Let's see, DRS, is he close enough here to go down into turn 4? Is he close enough? Is he going to have a look? Oh, he thought about it there for a second. Didn't do it. In the pit lane, and that's Tech. He's retired from this race. That's a shame to see. Well, Apex Rose carrying on. He's going to get my honorary carry honour of the day right now. He's currently 9th. He's 24 seconds back from the leaders, but he is currently also in 9th. And that's that would be valuable points, of course, but we're in pre-season, so there isn't any points. But
and carry honour is a reference to them carrying on rather than doing anything to ape somewhat problematic film series.
I never knew. Of course, the Going Gets Tough award still exists, if I'm not too mistaken, of course, and carrying on is the most certainly good. Now, let's see.
I think that's sponsored by ERT, isn't it? The Going Gets Tough award.
I believe it is. Meanwhile, is he going to have a look? Cam to the inside. Oh, don't hit each other, boys. We've seen that too many times every turn 1 and 2. And he just holds it now. Look here, the outside. Here comes Kian. And now Vito is just he's going to be a sitting target right now. Now to the inside comes Cam. Look here for the McLaren. Now the inside line. I always hit the back of Cam. Wow. This is getting a little bit spicy. They're almost 4 wide now on the exit of the corner. Careful, boys, you don't touch. And it's getting a little bit frosty right now. It's a 6-ray train for first. And then now the Alpine has a look to the inside of the AlphaTauri. The AlphaTauri holds line. The Haas now coming into a battle as well. This is... Oh, God! Vito's off. He's lost the front nose. And he's gone off as well. And it's just... Oh, it was... Someone had to make a mistake eventually. And it's just cars just making ever so slight mistakes. And the virtual safety car is deployed.
Oh, we've got a battle for the ages, a 6-way battle, but unfortunately, as you say, it was Vittino who came off worst through that exchange. A virtual safety car will help him get a cheaper pit stop. I've just got a tyre performance graphic to say that Cam is on. He's got pretty well. He's got green rears, and all the other tyres between him and Kian are in the yellow zone. Cam absolutely maximising that VSC. We go green racing again, and it looks like Dax really maximised that. Perhaps Kian over-egged the pudding in terms of his delta and had to back off. Both Cam and Dax did a lot better through that VSC period.
Yeah, I must say that it was just caught sleeping there for Kian, was they just didn't get it. Now the DRS is now just on the bubble of 1 second, and that there opportunity for Cam. Can he win his second race? I've commentated on him. That could be an opportunity. Now, let's not say anything, of course, because knowing my luck, he's going to spin off. I said that Redman hadn't done anything wrong, and he's had some issues, so there goes my commentator's curse of the season already. It happened eventually, but, you know, we move on. Meanwhile, Kian second, Dax third, Jordan fourth, KP still in fifth. Lee's 5 drivers all currently occupying the top 5 positions here. On that 33 of 36 with 3 laps to go, not 36. Let's not do that again. But look at this. Kian now again closing up.
Yep, Kian just patiently waiting for his best moment, but really he needs to get it done as quickly as possible as his tyres drop off relative to the mediums on Cam's car. We're clocking up penalties outside of the podium as well. Vittino, there's a bit of a call out from Tech. He's already got Red Matt's number. He's already thrown out a perhaps a passive aggressive note of thanks in our chat.
Meanwhile,
So definitely a rivalry cooking.
Rogue and Vittino going side by side, just like Red Mac and Cad just did a moment ago as well. Beautiful battling there on the bottom of the hill. Here we go then. Battle for second and first, and again, Cam's just going to have to cover the inside line, otherwise he'll be dived. Late braking, that's too late, that's far too late. And he needs to, he's almost cuts the nose off there as well. He almost made contact. Opportunistic, didn't work, and now to the inside. Oh, they've touched. Cam's going to be careful. 3 wide. Oh no, there's going to be almost contact there. This is getting a bit hectic, boys. Careful the outside line. Kian again. Cam just squeezing it. Bang, bang, bang. They touch. They touch again. They touch. Oh, Archie, and they're both off.
Dax thanking both of them for that. I think probably laughing in the cockpit as the two of them just touch and touch and touch, and eventually it was Kian that's gone, and he's actually retired.
And if it couldn't go worse for me and cursing people today, it's happened again. Well, meanwhile, Jordan, who was on the hards, he's going to go for the lead here. You know, Jordan may still win this. We're on that 35.
Called that when he went onto that last pit stop, didn't we? Fantastic to take the lead on lap 35. He was 46 seconds behind the lead at one point.
46 seconds down. Now 3 temps up. That is one recovery job right now, and he leads here in Brazil. Cam meanwhile battling for
Cam
fourth.
K side by side through Desida de Lago as well. They're going to go side by side into Ferradura. Oh, KPP just lifted off. Yeah, he's got penalties as well. He's not going to gain a place on Cam K in a lap and a half. So I think discretion was definitely the better part of valor for KPP there.
Well, what can you say? Cam, contact. He was running first. He's now not running first. He's running third. But Jordan has got a penalty, remember. This is crucial. 3 seconds. Can he pull 3 seconds on the car behind? It's not. It's possible he might pull it on third. Can he pull it on first, though? I don't think so. I think there's an opportunity here for Dax still just to win this race. Unless, of course, something catastrophic happens, of course. But the gap, it's just remaining about that 0.3 of a second right now, so he may win
KPP,
it on circuit.
again, same place on the track. This time a much cleaner move past Cam K. I don't think Cam is going to thank KPP for this. Slowing him down, risking both of their potential podium positions with that penalty for Jordan. This is costing Cam K his overlap of Jordan on the podium.
Now 3.4 seconds, so it's cost him dearly there. That just ever so slight battling. But Jordan, through the last corner, he's not going to win it on circuit. Well, he's going to win on circuit. He's not going to win it in penalties, of course. But Jordan's going to do it oh, what's happened there? We got to cut that. The Haas is gone off on the last lap. What's happened to the Haas? But Jordan wins, but not because the other Haas has won it now of Daxi. Cam in third. Renmat's up to fourth again. Cam's in fifth. What's happened to KP? We need to know. He's dropping. He's weaving across the line. Well, something's happened to him. Vito comes across the line in 7th. What has happened in this race? I don't know. But there, across the line, Vito crosses in. Now, of course, Apex Rogan, of course, for retirement as well. But by howdy, have we had a little bit of a pre-season race? I don't know what's been happening.
Yeah, that's going to take some time to stitch back together again. Dax, surprisingly, Dax with the driver of the day. I really thought that would be with Jordan after his race. Maybe he started a bit higher and dropped down again. But then we have, I think, the first time I've seen a Haas on the top step of the podium.
Well, boy, that was carnage. But Haas on the top step of the podium, the Belgium driver wins from the Breton, and then Mr. Cam in third. But pending, of course, never say never what the stewards might say, but it's a podium nonetheless.
Yeah, I do think that moment that you called the Haas going backwards was just after Cam had overtaken him. So whether there was any kind of contact on the last lap, we will find out in the week to come.
Well, Dax wins here in pre-season from Jordan. Cam in third ahead of Red Matt in fourth. Cat in fifth ahead of KP in sixth. Both the Indian drivers line astern. They've ahead of the Brazilian, the I'm going to say Irishman, but I'm pretty certain that's Ireland.
Yeah.
Kian, the world, is in ninth position from Tech, the Norwegian, and then the flying salty Dutchman Bear, who's currently down the back, who's got the best name in the world. I like bears. But there we go. But final words for you, and who actually know we got driver of the day? Who is your driver of the day?
I think for me, I'm going to go with Jordan because he made a very strange strategy work out beautifully and kept his wheels very, very clean from everything I saw. So for me, it's Jordan.
And let's go for someone completely random, because I like giving random driver of the day questions. And what's your question to your driver of the day?
To Jordan, I would say, were you driving in honour of Michael Schumacher's 30th anniversary of his first Grand Prix weekend?
And today? You know what? I'm going to go for... Let's go for Red Matt for me, because he drove pretty well today. And my question to you, Red Matt, you may potentially have won that race. We'll never know, of course. You had some issues, but... What do you think of your first race this season? It's only the pre-season, of course, but what do you think of the first race that you've done here in Podium? Are you looking forward to the rest of the season? And that is the questions. Of course, we will join us. What's the first race? I forgot off the top of my head.
Don't put me on the spot. I've forgotten. I'm only planning one race ahead. I'll go and have a look. One moment.
You have a quick look, but
Australia. We're going to Melbourne Park.
Yeah, we're going to Albert Park in Australia, but that is, of course, in, I believe it's just 1 week's time, actually. So in 1 week's time, we will be racing in Australia. If I'm not mistaken, it's 1 week's time. We'll find out in 1 week. So if no one's here next week, it's not my fault. So if you come here next week and we're racing, good. If you come here next week and we're not racing, then you can blame me. But
best way, of course, is to subscribe to the channel and you'll never miss a race.
Hit a notification bell. Also, don't forget to watch the Twitch as well, which is also, I believe, live. Don't forget to head over there for some almighty action. But I have been Mr. Evil. Webbo has been Webbo. But we'll take care and see you in just potentially 7 or 8 days' time.